All right, if I can, I'm going to go ahead and call to order the planning commission. This is a regular meeting of the city board. I mentioned to the commission that I'm going to go ahead and lead you through the first part of the agenda until you elect your chair, and then I'll turn it over to your chair. So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at about 7:02. Again, as I said, I'll serve as your temporary chair. Under roll call, Mr. Silva,
Here.
Mr. Guy,
Here.
Mr. Winterhalter,
Here.
Mr. Evans,
Here.
Mr. Edwards,
Here.
Ms. McGowan is not here. Mr. Locker,
Here.
you have your manager, your coach director, and your engineer are here. We're going to have a moment of silence and the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey.
Can I get a motion approving your agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda. Second.
All in,
Aye.
any opposed? A motion passes 6-0. Can I get a nomination for your chair?
Yes, I nominate Mr. Silva as chair.
Second.
Are there any other nominations for chair? Hearing none, all in favor of Mr. Silva being your chair?
Aye.
Any opposed? Again, motion passes 6-0. Mr. Silva, I turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you all. We have we have next up to nominate for our vice chair. I nominate Shimon.
I'll second that.
There are no other nominees. All in favor of Shimon carrying out the role of vice chair for the year, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. First up, we have the minutes from last month, December 23rd. Do we have any comments or do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of December 23rd, 1925.
We have a second?
2025, sorry.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor of approving the December 23rd, 2025 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. So we have one applicant. It is for 4003 Westchester Pike. Want to proceed?
Oh, nice. What day it was? It was like, it was today, Tuesday, hon?
Good evening again. My name is Vince Mancini. I'm here this evening with Mr. Jake Tackett, who's our project engineer, representing Rock Hill Real Estate Enterprises 18 LLC, or LP, I'm sorry. The property in question is 4003 Westchester Pike. It's Zone C1. It's got about 270 square feet to it. It's not a big piece, and it's not a big building that we're proposing this evening either. The existing structures on that property is basically a former pizza shop, a flower shop, and an apartment upstairs, I believe, and they're pretty dilapidated. We have secured a demolition permit, and the dilapidation was one of the reasons why Mr. DeStanislaw, who owns the stretch of the Porsche dealership complex, wanted to get that piece because first, he wanted to remove the eyesore that's there. It's the first thing you see in the view shed going west on Route 3. So, and what he's proposing to put on there is a relatively small building, actually the smallest one he's put in the entire complex, but probably one of the most interesting and architecturally challenging to grasp from just plans and exhibits. What he proposes there is the building, Mr. Jake Tackett will describe, it's basically a ground floor, which is open and with only about 11,000 or so thousand square feet portion of the building on the far back. The rest of the footprint, which is about, I believe, 3,900 some square feet, is open on the ground floor. On the second floor, that 3,900 square feet is sitting on that portion of the building or as part of the building, the 11,000 or 1,200 square foot building in the back, and also there are columns supporting the front facing Westchester Pike. And underneath that, you have a through drive, which again, Jake will address. And on the other side of the through drive, there are parking spaces, and there are also some parking spaces that curl around the north side of the building, which is the peak there. And some of those buildings are actually underneath the first floor, which is again elevated with columns and as well as the rear portion, which is that dark section back there. That's solid. That's part of the building, but the light gray part is the full extent of the first floor on top, going over that deep gray building coming forward. The use of this property, which is again ground floor, which in that dark gray property, there's going to be a photo booth and elevator and that's just about it. The first floor is the one that has the showroom, and the showroom also doubles as the inventory. There is, and I think it's about 3,900 square feet or thereabouts. The inventory numerically is not much to write home to mother about, but it's extremely valuable. I foolishly thought that they were used cars. Bob chastised me about that. They're classic cars, and basically the price range of these cars are going to be between about 300 to 25 million. And they were only going to have inventory up there for about 6 to 8 cars. That's it. Probably one employee, another employee that may be traveling between the facilities, but that's the inventory. There's no other inventory. There's no outside storage. And the cars that are delivered there on not very often frequency comes by way of the in and out door on Boot Road, one further back. It basically, and customers do not just come in, it's all by appointment. It's going to be a somewhat different operations than the Ferrari dealership, the Lotus dealership, and the Porsche dealership. In any event, we have secured the necessary variances and special exception for a motor vehicle sales agency. So I don't think that that's before the Planning Commission this evening, but if some issues come up, I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Jake is going to address the basic layout, answer the engineering comments, address how the building works and the flow of traffic as currently designed, and the access points as currently proposed versus what's there now. Jake?
Before you go on to the building,
Excuse me.
is the adjacent property owned by the same legal entity? Or we're gonna have loading coming from the Ferrari dealership? Is that
The west.
It's the same?
That's a Ferrari dealership. After that, there's.
Yeah, no, where I'm going is, it would seem that, I think we might want to consider having a reverse subdivision or a perpetual easement. So that if this property ever gets carved off for some reason, they don't lose that access?
Oh, we have recorded easements, cross easements for the entire complex from Boot Road all the way down to the Porsche building, which I don't know how many.
Perpetual easements?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it should be noted on the plan.
I believe it is noted on the plan.
I mean, it says access, there might, one of the pages may have something else.
Noted, it's recorded.
But-
Yeah, we just wouldn't want, for some reason this gets carved off and then it's less functional.
Now, there's, they have to have an access easement because one of the zoning relief, one of the variances we secured is the ability to use the loading and unloading docks on the Porsche dealership building.
Yeah, that was the number 6 on Eric's. Yeah, that's sort of.
Yeah, so that's, in order to get from here to there and back and forth, we have to have that easement. Actually, this property will have more easement rights than any other properties because the other property
Go on the
don't
others.
necessarily have the right to go over this property.
Right, it's not mutual.
Yeah, well, yeah, for this property, everybody else is neutral, so.
Okay. I just, before you left, the kind of legal.
You know,
Thank you.
I just handed out our waiver letters that were not included in our formal waiver request for
Great, thank you.
preliminary final land development approval at one time and a waiver request for driveway slopes. We'll get into that in a little bit here. That's kind of stole my thunder getting the project described to you guys. My name is Jake Tackett, a civil engineer consultant for the project. I will walk through basically the site circulation that we propose as part of this classic car dealership, answer any questions you may have as it relates to the application, and just briefly go over some of the comments that are not simple will complies with the township engineering letter that we received on January 19th. To situate you, the south of the plan that you see on the screen is Westchester Pike. The north drive is Boot Road. We proposed one reconfigured driveway access that presently exists on the western or southern side of the parcel where we have a right-in only off of Westchester Pike. There will be no permitted egress from that driveway. The site then circulates clockwise underneath of the building, which you see here in a lighter shade of gray. It's described as the first floor showroom. The darker gray shade there is a ground level foundation, photo studio, and vertical access to the first floor. Going back to circulation, you will travel through the site clockwise from Westchester Pike to a proposed driveway that we are reconfiguring that presently exists on Boot Road. That driveway access to the right of the sheet will be restricted access out, right only, out. So there will be no left turns permitted on the Boot Road. We understand that it's a close driveway proximal to the Westchester Pike.
Sorry, let me catch that
Intersection.
again. So going out onto Boot Road to the north
Will be restricted. You will only be able to go towards the intersection.
or to the right?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Towards Westchester.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Good.
There is quite a bit of grade differential between
If you was
the
going-
ingress egress points, so we are proposing again an elevated structure on a podium essentially for the showroom. Presently today, there are two full in-out access points along Westchester Pike. We do propose the closure of one of those. It is approximately 20 feet from the intersection of Westchester Pike and Boot Road. You can see by the callouts on the grading plan there, those two callouts represent the driveway that we intend to close and fully curb. We recognize that a PennDOT HOP permit is required. We are working on submitting that now and we'll address any comments through that process to improve the right of way. Alongside that, presently,
You said that there will be a right turn only from the side to Boot Road?
Right here.
Is that
it is a
correct?
right and only from Westchester Pike.
From Westchester Pike.
Under a plan.
Yes, so the southern
Exit.
Page South access point.
But
and
from the side onto Booth
And then
Road, it
that's-
will be both ways?
It will be a right out only.
Into like.
Okay, I don't see it on the plan.
On the site plan, if you could scroll up to the sheet before this. There is a call out on our site plan, at the Boot Road access point, the right of the two, I'll get to that driveway access in a moment. The one with the arrow pointing towards Boot Road, there is a call out that restricts access to only right out movement.
You don't see it. No, I'm talking about.
But the one
On
on
the
top
back.
here on Boot is just for the showroom.
The one on top is just for the showroom. It is not public access. It will require, an operational,
Just in and out of show
Security.
cars and things like that.
exactly. Yep. No public access, only, employees of the classic car dealership would be able to access that driveway.
25 million one?
Yeah.
I asked just, while we're sticking with this G2 driveway, can I ask a question?
Sure.
The driveway, which is closer to Boot Road, which we're saying is the right only, I see you're asking for, yeah, the reason we have the ordinance for this slope is so that we have a safe angle and exit of the driveway. Which you're asking for relief, which we could maybe work with. But if it's a right only, why is it designed with a large flare so you can turn very easily left out of the intersection? Wouldn't we want this to be defined with a curvature only to the right, force cars that way?
That's two-way.
Is that of course pull in? Off a boot?
It's a one-way out, as
Yes, though.
indicated.
Yeah, that's something we can work with,
Yeah.
as we go through the revision.
Because
process.
I need, you know what signage is gonna be, and someone's gonna turn left
Of course.
with
yeah.
a wide flared intersection.
We can
Right,
redefine
right.
that geometry so that it is very clear that a right
Mhm.
out only is the intended movement.
And then as far as the other driveway, which you're indicating is employee only, is that for employees or is there inventory to the upper
Inventory.
level?
Employees would be the only, individuals able to access that driveway.
Okay, so I guess to that, just logistically, if we're saying the intention is to
Yeah.
load and unload vehicles in the Ferrari and bring them to this, are you really gonna be driving a $25 million car out and around the block back to Boot Road to get in that driveway?
This was discussed,
Or are or are they gonna park a car transport on Boot Road and back it into that building?
our zoning order prohibits, the loading
Okay.
on either Westchester Pike or Boot Road. The only access that works really is unloading at Porsche, driving around the neighborhood, and then down Boot Road into the site. It's more than what you want.
Did you say there was an elevator?
There is no elevator.
There is no, okay.
No.
Vince, I thought I heard you say there was an elevator in the beginning.
I should clarify, there's a man elevator for ADA access, but not a car elevator.
Got it.
Right, so you're entering on the second floor off the back,
Correct.
using the grade. Yeah.
Second floor, meaning the showroom level.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's shown on this rendering. To your left and my right here. That's the back.
It'll look a little nicer than the existing building.
Just a tip.
So you did say that you can unload off of Boot Road.
We cannot unload
Cannot.
off of the road. No, we have restrictions on loading, such that the only loading operation can occur on the Porsche
On
of the
that-
main line
yeah.
facility, or loading
I mean,
area.
that's a type
You said
of-
you have to go around, or you're just gonna drive through the
Oh, yeah.
dealerships from one to another to another?
We
Well, I
would
guess you
be
have to load
unable
this
to-
one in the back, so you can't.
Right, we would be unable to turn left off of the egress or from the egress point that we're proposing. So we would have to go onto Westchester Pike through one of the other driveway
Yeah.
access points
Yep.
and maneuver through the neighborhood to get to Boot Road as other vehicles would have to.
But
Don't
that
get
should,
any special treatment.
but that should be a minimal incursion on Westchester Pike because there are other driveways, I think for example, Ferrari or, even from Porsche, where you can just drive down, go around and boom, you're up there.
On our best month, we might do 2 trips.
Yeah, God bless you if you do 5.
Yeah, right?
So from a site circulation perspective, that's what we're dealing with. We're kind of constrained by the site's topography and existing access points that are there today. From a site coverage perspective, we are increasing the green space on site by about 20% of the net lot area. It doesn't sound like much when I say it's 2,500 square feet, give or take, that we're converting to green space, but from a lot size perspective, it's considerable. We are also proposing to green the right of way, which we'll have to do as part of our HOP. It doesn't look like much now, but you guys are aware today that it's a sea of asphalt. It will be beautified in its final condition.
Wouldn't really fit the brand.
Right, right. Vince had already mentioned we're limited to a maximum of 8 vehicles. That's capped as inside storage or inventory. There are no additional variances that we feel we need for this project beyond what was approved in the April zoning order. And that's pretty much how the site operates today, or how it's proposed to operate.
Is there any service facility on site?
There is no service facility on site.
So where will service be done?
That is a good question. Not here. Given the profile of these vehicles, I believe it'll be a high.
So if I buy the 25 million car and I need service, where do I go?
I think that's a conversation you and Mr. DeSanislaw have. I'm not sure, but there is no.
If you find that car, it's wherever you damn well feel
Yeah.
like.
They come to you.
No, operationally, there is a photo studio proposed on the ground level. It's that larger square shape of the two darker
Yeah.
shades. The rest of it, again, is just access to the second floor.
And a wrench and hammer will come with
$4,000
construction.
oil change.
If you're lucky.
Whoa.
So are there any, I know there's a little bit of inconsistency between Andy's memo and Eric's, but are there any on Eric's that pose a problem in your mind?
There are none. We spoke briefly before this. All of our zoning items here have been satisfied as of that April order, with the exception of comment number 5. It is a will comply, but presently our lighting plan shows light levels beyond our property line or into the roadway. We'll have to clean that up. Comment number 7, and I may lean on you here, Andy, to corroborate this, but comment number 7 we feel is a non-applicable zoning item given the uniqueness of this proposal. There is no feasible way to place green space between the building and the parking field, given that it is underneath of a structure, essentially.
Well, to be honest with you, the language of the ordinance does not apply to this because it says adjacent to the building. There's no parking adjacent to the building except for, there's no parking adjacent to the building because it's either those two on the north are underneath or by about 4 or 5 feet of the building, and the ones to the what is that, east, or what's the one down south? Towards Westchester
Yeah.
Pike, those are on the other side of the drive-through lane. So there's a drive-through lane between those parking spaces and the building. And the second floor is elevated above, so there's no walls down below. And we had this issue once before for the garage, and it was held that because of, there's no walls and and the parking was on the other side of the lot. Just
The zoning level.
Yeah.
Right, and there's no parking on the adjacent Ferrari parcel, you just have rights.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
There is no parking proposed for this development on the Ferrari parcel. There is currently a
right,
parking.
yeah,
above,
they're,
but that's
right, they're
totally
moving,
separate.
right.
To that point, there is a proposed cross-access easement that would allow for the internal maneuvering of vehicles within this campus to reach the parking field of this proposed development through a new driveway connection that will connect to that Ferrari lot. Again, we have that cross-access easement already approved and recorded with the other properties. It would hold true for this development as well.
And that's an agreement that our solicitor would have seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been reviewed. And it was entered into as a practical matter to keep as much traffic off of Route 3 as possible. And it works.
There are no other zoning comments that we feel need to be discussed. I'm happy to go through any of the comments that you'd like to on the letter, if you have a comment letter in front of you. The only ones I wanted to touch on this evening were comment number 19, the discussion regarding sidewalks in commercial areas. There was a second comment item on that comment, excuse me, regarding consideration for sidewalk along the Boot Road frontage, given the topographical change and the use and proximity to the Bayer Estate property. We would prefer not to. We want to keep the sidewalk focused on Westchester Pike, but we're open to hearing comment regarding that. Not
We have put in sidewalks from Boot Road all the way down to the end of, well, I don't know if we've done it for Boot Road yet. did we? Well, that's where there will be sidewalks extended from the corner or the intersection of Boot Road and Route 3 to tie in with the sidewalks that have already been placed, extending all the way west towards the Porsche dealership to the end.
And
of
there's none on Boot now, are there?
No,
No.
Thank you.
no.
No.
I don't think there are any sidewalks. on-
so to that point.
So are you at least willing to put in an easement for sidewalk and potentially future funding of it if the township were to so desire?
Yeah, I think that that's something
Okay.
that
Yeah.
Bob is happy to commit to.
I said, the right of way does exist to allow for it to be installed. It would just.
I think the key is that I realize there's nothing today,
Right.
but when you came in and did the Porsche dealership, there was nothing. And so I think that our key would be as we go forward, we've just been asking in both directions. I mean, we would love to have a sidewalk down Boot Road. If there's any place that we probably need a sidewalk, it's down Boot Road.
Okay.
I'm not sure that it's on that side of the road, but if we had at least the easement there, I think the township, I can't speak for the Board of Supervisors, but I think they would at least be interested in that as part of it and the funding there for it.
I think at least along these properties, this property here, as well as two or three residential properties that Bob owns, you have enough right of way, as you indicated, to put in sidewalks if and when you want to. The question is, of course.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
front part is the
our
they
desire
pay
is
for
to
it.
get it there at some point. I don't know that we're ready to put it in today, but if
Okay.
we're ready, if you were to make sure that it was set aside, it's part of the plan, that we
Yeah.
would know where it went. And that.
Just let us know if you don't have enough right of way.
Yeah.
Putting,
Okay.
putting in about, proposing 4-foot, 5-foot sidewalks. Right away there.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we have our feedback. That is good. We're happy to establish an easement for that purpose. The other comment now shifts to stormwater management. We have some cleaning up that we need to do before we're back before you requesting a recommendation for approval. But the one that we wanted to talk about, it's been an acceptable practice in the past, is to assume an infiltration rate until such time that the building is demolished and we're able to actually test. We're assuming a minimum infiltration rate that the state approves as a minimum today. We would be seeking an approval of that stormwater design contingent upon field verification of those rates. And it's just something I wanted to put out there for discussion now tonight. It's how we've done it in the past. We did it for the parking garage. We did get rates that corroborate our design. We would be doing the same thing here.
So you assume based on the minimum allowable rates, is that what you said?
Yes, the plan right now in the design accounts for the minimum accepted infiltration rate at the state level of 0.25 inches per hour.
What indication of the rates do you have from the previous developments?
So we're in the same soil stratum, the same general area as the portion of the main line as the Park and Platts development. Both of those tests came back and corroborated our assumed design previously, meeting that minimum infiltration rate. We would be assuming that it's the same soil as it is on the neighboring properties. So we would expect to see similar results.
Eric, how often have the on-site actuals been inconsistent with the assumptions, just for curiosity?
Generally pretty close, but so basically it's, it puts the onus on them. If it does not meet the rate, then they have to redesign the stormwater to make it work. I mean, it's one
I'm just
way or the
wondering if
other.
it's common, like across kind of everything that we do in the township.
Correct. This was not, it is not unusual that stormwater rates are reaffirmed during construction, and they're assuming a relatively small infiltration rate. So they either meet that or you exceed it, and if it doesn't, then they have to adjust the basin.
Yeah, the township is not exposed. If we have to go to a more expensive, stormwater management system, that's on us.
Mhm.
I'm happy to discuss the stormwater at any length you prefer. It's a boring but important topic, but I'll leave the floor open to you guys to ask the questions. I don't want to hold the meeting up to talk about my bread and butter.
I don't, I read the 436
Yeah.
pages.
Just give
I
us a
actually
synopsis.
scanned it.
It's not my main strength.
I will say it is a proposed subsurface basin on the south of the property adjacent to Westchester Pike. It's a pipe and stone bed. It's a very typical stormwater approach. There's nothing unique about it. We have a low infiltration volume that we need to adhere to, given the cover trading that we're adding green space on the site. We just have a modicum of infiltration volume that we need to achieve.
So is it your intent to make those modifications and then come back to us for the approval?
If you guys want to recommend approval tonight, I'm not going to say no, but I do think that there is some cleaning up of our plans and application that we need before we're ready for a clean engineering letter. We don't intend to change the application in any material way other than cleaning up comments at this point.
So subject to stormwater compliance, we could.
The township engineer had certain comments which,
Well, let them address the township engineer.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
answering Paul's question.
We would not be before the Board of Commissioners or the Board of Supervisors, excuse me, until we had a much cleaner letter than we do today.
So, but it's largely, we'll comply, fine tune, put the easement, language in there. The question is, can we, not too much mess, make a motion that kind of includes all of that?
Well,
It would be
we
nice.
could.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
We
point,
could, do we
want
to?
my point is, everything's will comply, subject to compliance with stormwater, we approve, like, does that work?
Well, there are comments still outstanding, so,
Yeah.
if they are willing to, clean up the plans and address all the comments other than while keeping that, point that, it will be during construction, we tested and so on.
I think
I
that-
would like to see them again with a clean, submission, and then we'll be happy
Yeah.
to just say everything is fine.
yeah, we're willing to go both ways. If you guys want us to come back, we'll come back. If you guys wanted to lay it off on the township engineers, be happy with what we changed, we can do it that way too. But I think,
When we want.
Yeah.
I think
You'll
you're
be happy.
coming back is a better way to go.
I think I'm on
I
the
think
come
you're
back, and
anticipating,
clean it up and
right?
come back page.
Okay.
Eric, any
Work
opinion?
for you? I don't want to steamroll anything.
I mean, we can, any consideration always be conditioned on satisfaction of the comments in the review letter. If you feel like there's some items in there that you would like, that you've discussed and you would like them to come back with more information, driveways, or acts, whatever have you, then by all means, you can have them come back. If you feel like they will address it and you just want me, they just have to address the letter, we could also do that. Either way, they're gonna address the comments, either you see it or I just see it. We'll have to address them either way.
Yeah, and if it takes longer than anticipated and the township requires extensions or, they have that 90-day time period for decision, we'll give it. It's no big deal.
Now I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, I mean,
I mean, they're gonna
I mean, they always comply.
they always
Yeah.
comply.
Right.
yeah,
might as well
so,
push it
yeah, if
along.
we've got, if you've been, scribing there.
Okay,
He's ready.
we're good? You're good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Chairman, do you want to ask for public comment? Do you think?
Let's look for the.
It's not gonna be as rambunctious as one of the more recent ones, that's for sure.
That building down.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the planning commission recommend the approval of the proposed preliminary and final land development plan of Rock Hill Real Estate Enterprises, Roman numeral 18 LP, to construct a new two-story vehicle sales facility with ancillary driveways, stormwater management and related site improvements, including the granting of requested waivers permitting the combined final and or preliminary and final subdivision land approval in one application, and a separate request due to the existing grade of the property to allow the grade of the driveways to be 12% or less rather than the required 5%. Subject to compliance with all the recommendations of the Pannoni Review Letter dated January 19th, 2026, with the proviso that we would presently waive the sidewalk requirement along Boot Road, but would request or recommend an easement being granted for the future potential of any sidewalk along Boot Road.
And funding.
And,
for future sidewalk.
Yeah, we were
And-
talking about that.
and funding for
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
if the township has to.
To do it, they would agree to fund it,
Yeah,
just for their
They
little
was
spot.
on it, yeah.
and in conjunction with the Pannoni communication that the stormwater requirements be addressed as mandated by the engineer and as required. And further in compliance with any comments presented by the Township Fire Marshal's letter of December 22nd, 2025. And any comments, which I did not see as of yet, from the Township Arborist. We don't have a letter, right? From the
No.
arborist,
Mm-mm.
from the Township Arborist related to the, whatever might be required from tree and
Landscape.
greenery. That's all I have.
Second,
Second.
all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
For the record, I would just note that there was no public here, so you didn't hold public comment. I just think it should be on the record. That was the
Right.
reason why you didn't do it.
Right, oh, yes.
Well, didn't we request it though?
We did request it.
Anybody have anything to say?
I sort of didn't request it, but
We
it's,
mocked that.
for the
we couldn't
record, it's
request
noted
it.
that, the only parties here are from the township and the applicant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay,
Thank you.
good luck.
Clean up your plan, get it to the,
yeah, good luck.
work with the
I
engineer.
need a new car in, 6 months, so chop
Yeah,
chop.
we will all come for test
Well,
drive.
If you buy one of those classic cars, you know, a free wrench, and says how-to book comes with it.
You'll get a free detail.
Yeah,
Is it buy one, get one free? or-
It's on the agenda.
nope.
Been barking up that tree for.
We have a motion.
How about
Not
public
yet.
comment? You want to ask for?
Bobby and Brian.
General?
Probably couldn't even.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to adjust.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.